Season 1 of Black Ops 7 doesn't just add maps and modes, it hijacks the story you thought was over and drags it somewhere way darker. The co-op campaign ended with David Mason capturing Emma Kagan and destroying the guild's nightmare weapon called the Cradle, a hallucinogenic toxin that weaponizes your own memories and fears against you. But Season 1 flips the board. The guild isn't dead. A new monster named Alden Dorne steps out of the shadows with one goal: to control soldiers' minds. And in the next 8 minutes, you'll see exactly how Dorne takes control of the guild, captures David Mason with a neural weapon, and why David Mason's brain is now the most dangerous experiment and weapon on the planet. Let's break it down. Season 1 picks up directly after the campaign. Emma Kagan is in custody. The guild's leadership has been decapitated. On paper, the threat is over. In reality, it's just evolved. Inside the remaining guild infrastructure, one man steps out of the background: Alden Dorne. He's not a flashy CEO. Dorne has always been the fixer, the ruthless operator who handles black operations and makes enemies disappear for the guild. With Kagan captured, some in the guild want to cut their losses. Dorne sees that as a weakness. He stages a ruthless internal coup, and in one sweeping move, he seizes control of the guild's remaining data, black sites, and weapon programs. He eliminates any loyalists who still answer to Emma Kagan, and he rebuilds the guild as a leaner, more aggressive war machine. Unlike Kagan, Dorne isn't obsessed with saving a broken world. His obsession is control, and for that he needs one thing: David Mason's mind. Dorne's new vision revolves around the Sealink, the neural technology that made Spectre 1 so effective. The Sealink is an elite JSOC technology, a combat network that allows operators to share data, reactions, and instincts at blistering speeds. But there was a problem in the campaign. The Cradle didn't work properly against Sealink-enhanced soldiers, and Sealink users adapted and pushed through the hallucinations, like we saw with Spectre 1 during the events of the campaign. Now, Dorne wants to know why. If he can crack the Sealink technology, he can build his own version controlled by the guild and perfect a system where soldiers are not just enhanced, they're owned. Now let me show you the full cinematic that changes everything, and then I'll break down what just happened.
Convoy shut down. Repeat. Convoy shut down. Kills everywhere. On your feet, Miss Kagan.
Dorne, you're late.
Mason, right on cue.
This ends now, Dorne.
I'm not here for her. I'm here for you. Your mind belongs to me now, Mason. Welcome to Project Synapse.
So as we saw in the cinematic there's an ambush that happens in Japan. Explosions rock a convoy carrying Emma Kagan. Communications are jammed, precision strikes hit vehicles in a pattern that feels like a surgical extraction. And guild operatives move in under Dorne's command to save Emma Kagan. Prison vehicles breach and Alden Dorne steps into the frame. Calm, controlled, he frees Emma Kagan. And for a brief moment, it looks like a rescue. Until David Mason shows up. Then, Dorne shoots Kagan. No speech, no hesitation, just a clean execution. Kagan dies realizing too late that her right-hand man was just waiting for his chance to replace her. Because Dorne didn't come for her. She was the bait. Because someone else was drawn to this convoy. David Mason. Now, JSOC knows that moving Kagan is risky, especially in Japan where the guild has a large presence. So, Mason being on site is part oversight and part insurance. He wants to see this through. He wants to make sure that Emma Kagan is punished for her crimes. Dorne planned around that. In the smoke and the gunfire, Dorne activates a specialized weapon, a device tuned to interact with the neural tech like the Sealink, and he unleashes it on David Mason. Mason's body seizes, his vision fractures, the world slips away as if someone just yanked the plug on his consciousness. It's not knocking him out, it's forcing his brain to shut off from the inside. As Mason collapses, Dorne leans in with a line that defines Season 1. I own your mind. This isn't about torture, it's about possession. And each Season 1 map tells part of Mason's nightmare designed in order from capture to complete mental breakdown. Our first map is Yakai, a rooftop in Japan where Dorne's forces ambush the Convoy, the physical hunt where David Mason is captured. Next, after Dorne has locked him into his mind, we see Fate, a nightmare version of Menendez's compound, ripped from David Mason's memories. Dorne is exploiting his trauma while he's transporting it. And then we have Odysseus, a hallucination on the USS Obama from David Mason's past, his memories fracturing completely as Dorne peels back every layer, including a place where you can see the interrogation with Raul Menendez in Black Ops 2. And finally, we get to Utopia, the next real-world location. Dorne's Project Synapse's HQ in Australia, where David Mason is imprisoned and experimented on. This is a physical location because David Mason has been knocked out this entire time, and upon arriving in Utopia, it's discovered that he is going to be experimented on. Now from Japan, Dorne's forces extract Mason and move him to Project Synapse in Australia, the facility represented by the Utopia multiplayer map. However, Project Synapse is the new guild's heart. It's a part research lab, part city, part black site prison, and part neural weapons testbed. And here, Dorne's real work begins. His goals are clear. He wants to crack the Sealink technology, understand why it resisted the cradle. Then he wants to create his own version, a corrupted Sealink where loyalty is hardwired under his control. And then he wants to perfect the cradle, redesign it to interface with the Link soldiers, making their memories and identities vulnerable assets to use. But why David Mason? Well, Mason is the perfect subject. He's a Sealink commander with a deep system integration. He's carrying a lifetime of Black Ops trauma between Woods, Alex Mason, Menendez, and the Cradle, and his mind is both a weapon and a map to everything that Dorne needs. Season 1 ends with a new horrifying status quo. Emma Kagan is dead. The guild is more focused and vicious under Dorne. David Mason is alive, but captured. His mind is under siege at Project Synapse. And the question isn't just, can Spectre 1 save David Mason? The real question is, if they do, who will he be after Dorne is done with him? And more importantly, the seasonal story that's been set up may explain why we never saw David Mason in Black Ops 4, despite knowing he was alive at the time. Season 2 is going to answer that question. The second it drops, I'm breaking down every detail. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it, because if you thought Season 1 was dark, Treyarch's just getting started. So drop a comment if you think David Mason can be drop a comment below if you think David Mason can be saved, or if Dorne has already won.